characterized by the body's own immune system attacking the body itself. So if you have a drug that is able to suppress that, then you could derive some kind of relief, and chloroquine does that.
When the journal Nature's finding finally confirmed the new virus to be a relative of 2003 SARS, and 2005 report in the journal Virology revealed chloroquine's antiviral arsenal.
Chloroquine, being a basic compound, is said to be able to increase the pH of the cytosol. Okay, so this increase in pH of cytosol serves to inhibit the release of the genetic material from the viruses. So it kind of reduces the ability of the virus to cause the host cell to replicate the viral particles.
Pressure started mounting on local and foreign pharmacists. The Ghana Pharmaceutical Society had to come in.
Nobody can serve the drug unless he has been given the go-ahead to do so. So generally at the moment, we don't just go to the pharmacy. It's not a first aid drug. It's not paracetamol that you can say, oh, I have headaches. So somebody can just dish out.
Our checks reveal the drug Samquin 100, earlier detected and disapproved by the World Health Organization, is selling for 90 cedis wholesale in Ghana. The WHO says on its website, the WHO Global Surveillance and Monitoring System on Substandard and Falsified Medical Products received 9 reports of confirmed falsified chloroquine products from 3 countries. All reported products were identified at patient level and all have been confirmed as falsified. The country where it was detected happened to be Niger. Unfortunately, our checks reveal Samquin 100 has made its way into health facilities in Ghana. Although the drug pack, which comprises 10 strips, bears manufacturing or expiry date of November 2019 to October 2022, respectively, it has no manufacturing address. So I tried scanning a barcode to find out where it's coming from, and this is what I found. A call to the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana and the Food and Drugs Authority reveals they are unaware of the drug circulation. For JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
Please be careful when buying drugs. Now, still on COVID-19, the first person to test positive for the novel coronavirus in the Bono region is a Togolese national who entered the country illegally, according to the regional minister. This forms part of the 372 new cases that brought the country's tally to 3,091, as announced by the Ghana Health Service on Thursday. The result of the test was received 2 days ago by the Regional Health Directorate, and over 70 contacts of the patient have been traced. Now, the Bono Regional Director of Health, Dr. Kofisa, gave more details on News Desk with my colleague, Ernest Menu.
Of April, the Ghana Immigration Service informed us they had arrested 10 people who had come into Ghana through unapproved routes through the German North District of the Bono region. And definitely they were handed over to the police and they were to be prosecuted. So they sent them to the court, and the court remanded them, I think, for a number of days. But then the immigration came with the request that in remanding them, they wanted to actually let us have their COVID-19 status. So we took the 10 samples from them and then sent them to the Kumasi Center for Laboratory Research. The results came back to us on the 5th of May, and out of the 10, 1 sample tested positive for the disease. The 9 others their samples were negative.
Okay, so let's talk about contact tracing for the people who might have come into contact with this person, the immigration officers, the police officers. Have you started that already? And are some people in isolation already?
Yeah, you know, I think we received the result through email on the 5th in the morning. So we immediately went to the district. We sent the result to a district. And, you know, each district is divided into sub-districts. So all the sub-district teams have contact tracing teams. They came together and started work on trying to actually identify the contact. Now, the district team went to support them, and the regional team also went to support them. So we have been there on the 5th and yesterday, and so far we've been able to trace 78. We have been able to identify 78 contacts. 61 of these are in the German North District in the Sampa area. 17 of them are in Brekum. For the fact that, they had been brought to Brekum to court on 2 occasions. So that then makes it 78 contacts. The team is gone back again because we have to make sure that we are able to identify all the contacts, both those who interacted with the group for a very long time and casual.
Now, government has fought off claims by the minority in parliament that it is giving Ghanaians false hope that the coronavirus situation in the country is under control. Deputy Information Minister Pius Enam Hajide says government's approach has so far been effective and successful. Minority leader Haruna Idrisu yesterday said government is engaged in public relations gimmick to create a false sense of security, which is not the reality on the ground. Mr. Hajide says this view is misinformed, and he maintains there is no evidence backing the claims made by the minority.
It's termed worsening COVID-19 situation and the national response. Clearly, the NDC minority was merely invited to offer cover to the flag bearer of the NDC, who has been badly bruised by the politicization of the COVID-19 pandemic started by himself. The misinformation, deliberate distortions, and warped analysis put out by the NDC flag bearer had been bemoaned and roundly condemned by many well-meaning Ghanaians. Just days ago, the presidential candidate of the NDC, Mr. John Mahama, in one of his COVID-19 political broadcasts on Facebook, embarrassed himself by ignorantly questioning why the government had accessed an IMF facility, claiming that no other African country had done so, an outright fabrication from a man who had occupied the high office of president a few years ago. 20 other African countries, including all the ones Mahama specifically listed, have assessed the IMF facility of $18 billion for African countries to help cushion them through the crisis. Indeed, the facility is interest-free and without the suffocating conditionalities that the IMF imposed on Ghana when forced by a toxic mixture of incompetence and insensitivity. Mr. Mahama and the NDC went to the IMF for a bailout and policy credibility. It is clear that the NDC minority was only called in to do damage control. Whilst it may ordinarily be a good thing for the NDC minority to have found their bearing and a voice several weeks after Ghana started confronting and containing the COVID-19 pandemic, it is pathetic that even upon hindsight, the minority is still unable to offer any pragmatic alternatives, but merely rehash those same lame queries that Mr. Mahama has asked during his political broadcasts on Facebook.
Now, as you may already know, industries are walking a tightrope due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but there are few others that have decided to lend a helping hand to the vulnerable. Wilma Africa Limited is one of those. They've partnered the Multimedia Group Limited to celebrate gallant mothers at the front line of this pandemic. Nancy Emefa Jodosi has more.
Wilma Africa Limited, manufacturers of Frytol, has for the past 10 years been one of the leading agro-business companies in Ghana involved in the refining, packaging and distribution of edible oils. However, in recent times, industries have taken a hit from the coronavirus pandemic, and Wilma is no exception. Patience Perry is head of marketing.
Yes, the coronavirus has had an impact on all industries and even our industry as an FMCG. For Wilma Africa, we import some of our products. For instance, we import our fortune rice and bag it here. And due to the closure of our borders and other stuff, we haven't been able to receive some of the orders that we placed, even though we have high demand for them.
Despite the challenges, the company says it will not relent in its effort to honor and celebrate frontline mothers as we celebrate Mother's Day.
We cares about people. Over the years, we always celebrate mothers because without mothers, we wouldn't be where we are currently. This year, for instance, we are particularly collaborating with multimedia to celebrate our mothers, especially the frontline workers, because we feel they've really done so well, putting their lives at danger just to make sure that everybody is fine, just to make sure that we are all safe out there. I mean, it's something that is laudable, and we are very proud to appreciate them today.
This is going to be done in partnership with Joy Prime. Channel coordinator Gladys Oseo-Redu has been explaining how your mother can be a part of this beautiful experience.
We're saying this time our frontline mothers have gone the extra mile to sacrifice something that you and I may not have because we are not within that category. And so let's give them that special recognition this time on Mother's Day. So what Joy Prime in partnership with Frytol is doing is that we giving every frontline mother that opportunity to be especially celebrated. Okay. And so we're throwing out the challenge. We say, all you have to do is tell us your story. Right. What is that touching story of a frontline mother you know? We all are very much aware that we've had some mothers, health workers who have been infected in line of duty just by sacrificing to ensure somebody is saved from this deadly disease. And so a time like this, if we say we are celebrating mothers within that fraternity, I don't think it's really of the
Madam Patience Perry shares some of the products that will be distributed to the gallant mothers.
Apart from our Frytol, apart from Jama soup, apart from Alive soup, apart from Fortune rice, we have listened to you and we have introduced the new Frytol sunflower oil, we have introduced the new Fortune margarine, and we have also introduced the new Frytol seasoning to satisfy all your needs.
The Mother's Day celebration is on the theme, My Mother, My Hero.
And indeed, we all celebrate gallant mothers, especially those on the front line of the war against COVID-19. You're still live on Joy News today. Coming up in business, share prices drop on the stock market as businesses continue to deal with the impact of COVID-19. That's right after this. Stay with us.
Now, Managing Director of B5 Plus, Mukesh Takwani, has rejected claims that steel manufacturers are increasing prices of products. Wholesalers and retailers have accused the 7 steel manufacturing companies operating in the country of indiscriminate review despite some interventions from government to reduce water and electricity tariffs. There's more in this report.
Speaking to Joy Business, Mukesh Takwani argued that there is currently low demand for steel in Ghana due to the impacts of the coronavirus. He says this does not give way for the increment of steel prices.
We have not got our bill yet. So without the bill, how can we say that we have got 50% brother, And it is also fact that the prices have not increased. So this is also the fact. So, and this is also the thing that there was a say that we have reduced the production. How can you reduce the production when you are even in the lockdown? It would have been very easy for us to just close the factory, but rather we kept thousands of employees employed, okay, and not only paid their salaries, but paid them 1.5 times the salary.
This latest development comes on the back of the president's announcement of some 50% reduction in electricity costs for all businesses and individuals amidst COVID-19. Meanwhile, Mukesh Takwani believes more must be done to support steel factories at this time.
You have to buy the water every day. The water is not flowing, my brother. It is not easy, I can tell you. And then you have machines, you are not able to run the machines also because there's no enough electricity supply. So, and then you have to get all the PPEs and everything. So just imagine, you saw when you were coming in how many places we have put sanitizers and water dispensers with the soaps and everything to make sure that everyone remains the hygiene.
Wholesalers in the steel business are calling on the President, the Minister for Trade, to look into the matter, describing the development as cheating, especially in these troubling times of COVID-19.
All right, some breaking news from the U.S. The U.S. jobless rate has risen to 14.7% as the coronavirus pandemic devastates the economy. Now, 20.5 million jobs were lost in April. That's it for business. There's more coming up on the marketplace. That's at 1 o'clock. Up next, sports.
Good afternoon. My name is Kadi Asamoah, and this is Showbiz right here on Joy News today. Now to my very first story. Now, comedian DKB has this Instagram thing going called Make Me Laugh, and he's interacting with his fans, trying to, trying to get, comedians out of them, and he's asking people to just tell stories, real life stories, or made up jokes, and if it's very funny, you win a prize. So he's been explaining why he decided to do that, and also here are some of the jokes from the Instagram live.
When I completed KNUST, I was given a national service at Rage Hospital. Where somebody take in kiddy come say the kiddy it is sick. When I'm busy and say, oh wow, what's up? He tell me say the kiddy swallow key, like door key. For you. But it's like there was no panic, like nothing. We like never the business and say, wow, what's up? So the key, for when did the boy swallow the key? The man talks say like 3 months ago the boy swallow the key. I know about we business say so the past 3 months the boy swallow the key, why you don't think the boy can long time? Yeah. When you tell me say, oh, that time then I get spare key, so now you think really no, but I didn't spare key loss. You said I spare key loss, so you can't do a patient general go key.
No, me woman went for me country, so no one see a car about one. So make I say guys be now barnum on barnum we need papers working permits call only. And so what they be on we say on the bag bone wachi no one for bottle on the no one am chrome one say pema on we here Germany on here. So make us no buy a check or buy 11 years no so also about for no about for no Nigeria. We say about for pinate me ma I be before me ma on say be one build the kakra tinting. Yeah. Which means you back on a foul no abo no wajao, a foul no abo no wajao. Now we na on a Ghana party or refugee camp, and a guy be Ghana ni Mike a Chinese so or Bunya than for seriously be a better party na si. So born your one no kika. So a year one no kika diano. That day na Buni bands on any better. So on could die. A dem. So one in a detail cherry 1 year until we don't say they are. Far na far. That's what Boguma by your name. On Siasia, or Boguma by your name. Now, when one time or boy, you man who said, nah, the Kotsanaka were inside, about your inside. It's your open on beside say, what pin be in any womb, now say, my what on the pin of the sheriff was it. Yeah, okay. No, be the service, but I won't be doing the show to dream. So
for us, we have been hard hit. In fact, the hardest hit. It's like we literally can't do anything. We are like right now. We're like pastors without Bibles.
Wow.
You understand? We are like mechanics without tools. We are useless right now. So it's up to you to find ways and means to still engage with the people. And that's how come I've taken advantage of this to reach to the people virtually so that we can have some fun. And was a friend of mine at one competing media house, it's called Reverend Eskin, who told me that, listen, you can, he just threw it at me, you know, when
Okay, so that was DKB and, you know, telling us why he decided to start this whole Make Me Laugh initiative, and it's really going well because he's got sponsors like Lily and MT, and that's all we have for Showbiz for this afternoon. My name is Kadi Daniel.
That was a very nice session.
Yeah.
It inspires me. Maybe me too. I can.
Yeah, you can join it. It's still ongoing, so you can just join it.
Can I make you laugh is the question.
Yeah, maybe you can try it after the show. Let's try it and see. If you can make me laugh, then I'm sure you can make other people laugh as well.
It's much easier to just try and
you can win lily rice and then oil and then you can cook rice. Yeah.
The problem is I can't cook the rice.
I will cook the rice, don't worry.
You will cook it?
Yes, I'll do that.
Maybe. That's it for this bulletin of Joy News today. My name is Daniel. Thanks for joining us. Caddy Brother Showbiz. Up next is The Marketplace with Daryl Kwao. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com.